everybody, this is Cooking with Class and I'm your host Jenny Marioni. Today we're going to learn how to make red velvet cake pops. These are my absolute favorite because they're cheap. I bought this all for around $6 at Target. They're really fun because you can get really creative with them, and they're a great gesture for Valentine's Day for that special someone. Okay, so first we're going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees because it takes a little bit to heat up and you don't really want your cake batter sitting out that long. So we're going to preheat it to 350. 325 for darker colored pans because you don't want the bottoms to burn. And then we're going to add our red velvet cake mix and a cup and a quarter of water. It's already turning red. And then a third cup of vegetable oil. And if you really want moist cake pops, you can add a little bit more vegetable oil, like make it 2/3 of a cup. It's up to you. And then 3 large eggs. I'm using a mixture of white and brown, but you can use whichever ones you like. And now we're going to stir with an electric mixer for about 30 seconds on low speed and then 2 minutes on medium speed. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure to turn the bowl so that you get all sides of the cake batter, and to make sure it has no lumps. You want to take one of your spatulas and just kind of rub the outsides of it. So as you can see, there's no lumps or anything, and it has a nice, rich red color to it. It's not too thick, not too clumpy, but it's also not too thin because you don't want to overbeat it. Okay. Now you're going to want to make sure to spray your pan, even though it says it's like pre-coated. If it's one of those, you want to make sure to always spray your pan with Pam beforehand, just to make sure that you never have to like worry about trying to get it out, because that would just ruin the whole recipe. All right, so like I said, you can serve it with a serving spoon, and you're going to want to make sure that the cup is about 3/4 of the way full. You don't want it much more than that, or else it'll boil over and then it won't be obviously a circle or a nice little cake pop. So you just kind of want to do it little by little because it's easier to add more than to take some out. And you want to make sure to get all the edges cleaned off so that when it cooks, it doesn't cook onto the pan, because then that just wears the pan out. All right. So now we're going to add the top. This is so that when the cake pops rise, they remain perfect circles. And it comes with 2 little locks. So handy dandy, right, like I said, right at Target. And we're going to stick this in the oven for about 15 minutes, okay? And we'll check on it. They're ready! Let's see. Okay, so you're obviously going to want to let them rest for about 5 minutes so that you can just let the top settle on there and make sure that they're not sticking to the tops or anything. You want to let them cool a little bit inside the tray, and then we'll take them out and let them cool for another 5 minutes on top of the glass plate. Okay, so now we're going to take some of our cream cheese frosting and put it in a little Tupperware, like the size of this square, so that you can make sure that you can dip the cake pops in it. And what we're going to do is melt the frosting a little bit so that we can just dip it right in there, and then it'll harden up in about 10 seconds. There we go. So, and then we used these little cocktail stirrers, but you can buy cake pop sticks at Joann's or Target as well. You're just going to stick it right in the middle. Okay. So just dip it in like so. And you want to kind of let it hang over for a minute, just in case anything else drips. And if your special someone is a frosting lover, then of course you can dip it 2 or 3 more times. We're just going to give it a nice little coat. And then my favorite part, the decorating. So we're just going to flip it over. And voila! You have yourself a good old-fashioned red velvet cake pop. Okay, so here we have our final product of the cake pops. It took us about 45 minutes from start to finish to decorate the cake pops and bake them and all that good stuff. As you can see, we used 4 different kinds of sprinkles. It's basically just based on your preference what you want to use. And then we, like I said, melted the cream cheese frosting, and then as you can see, it's already hardened already, so it takes about 15-20 seconds. And we didn't have a little styrofoam ball that you usually use to stick the cake pops in, so we just made a makeshift little vase. We used an upside down coffee cup and poked holes in the bottom of it and then stuck the cake pop sticks through. I'm Jenny Mariani, and this is Cooking with Class. Cheers.